Welcome to another episode of the Prosperous Man podcast. I am your host, Leonard McElveen, and thank you for joining us today. If you like what you hear, please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find the podcast at all your major podcast platforms, all that good stuff. Uh, let's jump in and talk with today's topic in today's episode. So today is episode 073, Fear. What I want to start with is uh, Psalms 118, verse 6. Psalms 118, verse 6. Now, we're talking about fear, so you don't necessarily need to be a spiritual person, a person that goes to church all the time, but I believe there's something here for us to learn from this scripture. And it says, The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? And I like that because I've been reading this book. I've been doing the audio book for Emmanuel Acho's Illogical. And there he goes through this great story of overcoming or not taking on somebody else's fear. And it really stuck with me. It really popped out to me. And I was like, we do a lot of that in society. So that's what I wanted to do and wanted us to talk about today was just not taking on somebody else's fear and how we overcome our own fears. So let's jump in to this topic. Let's jump into that. And I love that passage of scripture of the Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. So that's our topic for today. We're going to jump in. We're going to talk about fear. So jumping kind of right from that quote from Emmanuel Acho, uh, not taking on somebody else's fear. And when you break that down and you start to look at that, taking on somebody else's fear, how does that happen? Where does that come from? And the immediate thing is to look at who's in our circle. Who are the people that are closest to us? What are they saying? If you tell them that you have a goal or you have something that you want to accomplish, what's their reaction? Are they putting their fears on you? That's how you take on somebody else's fear. If they're telling you, oh, it didn't work out for me, I tried to start a business and it didn't work out. I went for advancement in my company and I got denied, or whatever it is, I wanted to do XYZ. If they always have a reason why it doesn't work, why you can't do it, they're putting their fears. They're trying to put their fears on you. And a lot of times it will come in the guise of being well meaning. Oh, well, I'm just looking out for you. I'm trying to help you. And it's no, you are trying to put your fear on me. You're trying to give me your bad experience. You're trying to tell me why it didn't work. And while it might not have worked for you, that does not mean your situation is going to be my situation. Mine can be different. We have to believe that it has to change at some point. It can't be a negative experience for everybody. So the first thing, you got to look at who's in your circle. The second thing is along with that is you're looking at what you take in. Your eyes, your ears are gateways that lead into you, what you put into yourself. I like to think of each of us as a giant jar, a canister, a whatever you want to call it, a bank account, whatever makes sense for you for the example book, you take in. We are always taking things in. So where does it come from? So if we're always taking in, you got to look at who's putting what's into you, who's pouring into you. If you look at each of us as a vessel, a container, a water jug, who's pouring into you? Where's that coming from? And then what are they pouring into you? Me and my wife will always, we have a habit and a good habit of always checking in to see, where is your love tank at? And that's one thing we picked up as we read, the five love languages and those things is me understanding her love language and to make sure that I'm pouring into her the love language that she needs. So we ask, where's your tank at? Are you low? Are you mid? Are you high? Are you full? Where are you at on that scale? And the same goes for us individually is who's pouring into you and where are you at? Are they, if you got somebody that's negative, that's trying to pour their fear into you of why you can't do what you want to do, you can't accomplish your goal, how much are they pouring into you? What are they pouring into you? That's why your circle, that's why those that are closest to you are important. And that's when it comes to fear, when you're trying to tell somebody your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, fear is fear is the roadblock, it's the hindrance, it's the detour for all of that. You don't want you don't want detours. You want to be able to keep pushing and keep going forward. So you want people that are going to be speaking life. You want people that are going to be encouraging, people that are going to give you peace. You want all of those people that are going to be helping you to accomplish and strive and push towards your dream, towards your goal, towards whatever it is you're trying to do. So don't take on somebody else's fear. Don't take their negative experiences. Don't take their reasons why it didn't work out. And then the next part is, after you look at everybody else and you're looking at who's pouring into you, pour into yourself. Evaluate your own fears. Evaluate your own limiting beliefs. What things have held you back? And look at your behaviors. Recognize your behaviors. It's like, hey, when I want to accomplish a goal, I get about 80% of the way and then I fall off here. Or I get 20% of the way and I start to think, oh, I can't, it's not going to work. Oh, you know, I'm going to fail. So before I fail, I'll quit. Oh, I have a lot of good ideas, but I don't follow through. Look at, recognize your own beliefs and what you're saying to yourself and recognize your actions. Your actions will begin to speak to you and show you what's happening and where it is. After that, do your develop a plan. Once you recognize the actions, develop a plan on how to overcome them, how to how to move past your fear. We don't ever just stumble past fear. We don't ever just stumble past, oh, I just fell into my dream. No, you have to have a plan of action of how you're going to overcome it. And then part of your plan, what needs to be a part of your plan, is addressing your mindset, addressing the plan, evaluate the plan. Don't just put something down on paper and never go back to it, never look at it. Always evaluate the plan, evaluate your actions, see if what you're doing is keeping you true to what you said you wanted to do. And third is to keep pushing. Understand that you're going to have setbacks, overcoming your own fears, overcoming your own limiting beliefs, your own traumas, all of those things that have been built up. They've been built up. Overcoming those is not easy, but you can do it. It'll be work, but you can do it. You have to know deep down that you can do it and that you're worth it and that what's on the other side is worth it. You can do it. It's going to take work, but you got it in you. So you have to keep pushing. And then lastly, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace for when it messes up, for when you stumble, for when it's harder than what you thought. Like I said before, nobody just falls into their dream. Nobody just falls into overcoming their fears. It takes a plan, it takes action, it takes giving yourself grace. It takes a team around you to encourage you and to help you. And then it takes changing your mindset. It takes all of those things and be willing to grow through each and every step, each and every plan, each and every setback. Grow through them, learn through them, continue to push yourself. So that's what I wanted to share. I just, as I was reading, listening to the Emmanuel Acho's book, I thought it was just so key that we have a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of things that are put on us from, from teachers in grade school, from coaches, little league coaches, from parents, from family members, from, our community. There's so many things put on us that we don't recognize it until later of why we act a certain way or why we always stop at a certain point. So start to recognize those things. Don't let anyone put their fear on you and do the work to overcome your fears. So that's our episode today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said at the beginning, please like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you next week.